maybe 10. I'm not sure, but you guys can be there all day as you if you guys want. I think the park actually stays open later this Sunday. So, but it's all day. There's no time period. You can go from open to close. So yeah. But yeah, make sure you're following our Instagram page for more announcements coming, because we have a bunch more fun stuff for you guys to be involved in. We want you guys to be able to get those notifications. So make sure you follow our Instagram page at SWAU. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. All right. So let me get up here so that everyone can see me. All right. So for those that don't know me, my name is John Fernandez. I'm the Director of Pathways to Success here on campus. And so basically, what is Pathways? We help out in terms of career. This is actually Career Emphasis Week. And so in addition to, we have the first year experience program. We can help with academic advising and such. So definitely keep us in mind for all your needs. All right, so as I was saying, this is Career Emphasis Week. So for those of you that are following us on our Instagram page, you might have seen that we've been putting some stuff out there, tips, advice, ideas to really get you going career-wise in terms of resume, interviews, and whatnot. This is important because if we can have the next slide up, next week, next Wednesday, we have our career fair, all right? And so our Paths Expo, it will begin at 11. It's going to go from 11 to 3 p.m. And please notice that we're going to be doing this at the library. Traditionally, we've been doing this at the gym, but this time around, we're going to be at the library. So make sure that you remember that's where we're going to be. If we can have the next slide, this is just a list of the preliminary list of the companies that are currently signed up, and we still have more to go. And I do want to address something that a student brought up as far as, well, what kind of majors are these companies looking for? What kind of opportunities are out there? Can we do something to advertise that on the front end? What I would say about that is I don't want to just box you into, okay, this company is looking for these people specifically. Because in my experience, you often get all kinds of different roles that companies could very well be looking for. So all that to say, don't just rely on the company's name to say, oh, okay, so I'm a such and such major, so I really have no business talking to those people. I can tell you stories. And so what I would do is I encourage you to do research on these companies and really figure out, is there something out there for me? I can tell you, for example, the Red Cross. They have a lot of virtual opportunities available. They're looking for people that are bilingual. The DEA, we don't have their logo up there. You would normally think of them as law enforcement, but they're looking for chemists. And so that's just to give you some ideas of how potentially, just because you see a title, you see a logo, don't let that fool you, all right? Do your research. I'm hoping that by next Monday we can have a list that we're going to be sharing with you guys so that you can do your proper research on the companies, okay? And then don't forget, it's important, your resumes, your interview skills. If that's something that you need assistance with, come and see me, okay? I'm over at Hagen Hall. All right, we're going to move on to the next announcement. So the success closet, obviously, again, if you're going to be participating, or even if you're not going to be participating, of the career fair, we want to provide clothing for you in case you need it. Professional attires are available. This time around, we are collaborating with Adventist Community Services, and they've set up a fantastic area over at their place, which is across the street from us. And you can go there and select 2 full outfits. Most of the clothing is brand new. There are shoes, pants, shirts, suits, anything you need, you'll be able to get it there. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you set up your appointment. If you need transportation, we can provide it for you. Like I said, it's just across the street, but still, if you need help getting there, we can definitely do that for you. Mondays and Wednesdays, 10 to 12, 2 to 5. But if you need arrangements outside of that, let us know. We can also help you with that. All right. Then, as part of that, we're going to have a fashion show tonight at 6 p.m. at the library. And so we're basically going to be showcasing, the clothing from the Success Closet. So definitely come out and join us. There will be appetizers. There will be refreshments. So I encourage you to come and join us. All right. Then, next slide, please. We also have, in collaboration with Adventist Community Services, if we can have it on the screen, there are toiletries available. If for whatever reason you don't have, it's difficult for you to get access to, toothpaste or whatever, let us know. We have some available over at Hagen Hall, so you can come and either see me, see Ms. Ross about that, or again, we can connect with Adventist Community Services in case there's any further needs. All right, but we definitely have that available for you. So if you need it, come and see us. All right. Then the final thing that I have is that I encourage you to follow us on social media. If you are not doing that, please do that, because there are a lot more things coming down the pipe, and that is the best way for you to find out about those events, those services that are available to you. So definitely check us out so that you can find out about these things first. All right, and so that's basically all I have. So I'm going to go ahead and hand over to our very special guest speaker today. She is a digital marketing expert. She is a journalist. She has bylines with Keene Daily Herald, Fort Worth Business Press, Cleveland Times Review, among many other publications. She's being recognized for work on her own publications and service to the community, receiving accolades such as Rising Star Alumni from UNT, Johnson County's 20 Under 40 Award, Young Business Professional Award from Cleveland Chamber, and the list goes on. And she is also a fellow professor. She teaches public relations over at UNT. And so she's a wonderful resource that I'm hoping that can give you a lot of insight as far as your future, your career development, and such. I met her over at a Cleveland Chamber event and was very impressed. And so I'm glad that she agreed to come and speak to you guys today. So without further ado, Ms. Neely Sanchez, please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everybody. I am Neely Sanchez-Ruick. I've been messing up my last name for the past 6 months because I recently got married. And thank you for that. The whole first year I was married, I was secretly married, so I couldn't mess up and say my new last name was Ruick, so I'm having the opposite problem now. Real quick, before I get started, I am a disabled woman. I take more blood pressure medication than all of your grandparents combined. So this is my emotional support water bottle. Every once in a while, I'm gonna stop mid-sentence and drink out of the emotional support water bottle. And so y'all just have to bear with me and not make fun of me later, because that's not very nice. Can we flip over to the next slide, please? Today, I was so excited that they asked me to come speak with you guys because, well, first of all, I'll tell you a little bit about me and my mom. My mom was like, there's absolutely no way you could ever get me to speak in front of your class. My class I'm teaching right now has 60 students. And I'm like, Mom, the only thing more terrifying than public speaking is public speaking to college students. Because I'll tell you what, every time I get into my classroom and they tell me something going on in the world, I'm like, oh, this is what age is like. But today, I have a really good presentation for you guys. I haven't had the pleasure of giving this one yet, so if you hate it and I mess up halfway through, don't tell me about it. I'm very self-conscious. I don't want to know. You can tell your friends about it later in the cafeteria or something, but that's not information to tell me about. But today, I want to present to you guys Decide, and it's how to change your life with just 5 decisions that you can start right now today. So let's hit the next slide. Oh, I'm saying the wrong thing. I told him next slide was too boring, and I was going to say, hit the next one, DJ, so we're going to go with that instead. This is a little bit about me, but I had such a wonderful intro that we're just going to skip this part, hit the next one, DJ. And we're going to talk about what is a decision. So a decision is made up of 3 parts. There are choices that we're presented with. There are feelings, thoughts, things like this that we have about these choices presented to us and maybe what might result from them. And then there are actions, and that's what we decide, how we decide to take our choice. So, something that you might not know is that the average decision takes about 10 minutes for us to make. How many decisions do y'all think that we make as people every day? I'm going to call on someone mercilessly if you don't raise your hand. If you're sitting in the front, I'd get real scared. Right here. How many decisions do you think that people make every day? 100. Okay, that's a good guess. Higher than 100. Let's take one more guess. 1,000? All good guesses. 10 million. Okay. Everyone calm down. It's not 1 million. Okay. Come back to me. The actual number of decisions that we make every day is about 35,000 decisions. If it took you 10 minutes to make every single decision that you make every day, you could only make 72 decisions in like a working 12-hour day. That's assuming that you're like sleeping and showering and like scrolling on TikTok for a while, right? So the fact that you have 35,000 decisions that you make either a little bit consciously, right? That's not just subconscious decisions. That's the ones you're making a little bit consciously. If it took you 10 minutes to make them, you would only be able to make 72. So you're making decisions like this every day and you don't even realize. So let's hit the next one, DJ. These are a couple of figures on the decisions that we make. I want us to all go down to marriage real quick. It takes about 8 days to decide that you want to get married. For me personally, that figure seems a little bit low, but I got married in only 11 months, so what do I know about marriage, okay? Choosing a car, 15 days. Choosing a movie, 10 minutes, a life, gone, just like that. Every time you're scrolling through Netflix with a friend and y'all can't agree, are we gonna rewatch? What's on Netflix right now that's rewatchable? Like Friends Moved. I don't even know. Maybe is Vampire Diaries on Netflix again? Maybe that, I don't know. Food, there's another 5 minutes. It takes like 5 minutes to decide where you're gonna have lunch, 7 minutes to decide what you're gonna have for dinner. I guess if you have other things besides ramen in your pantry right now, I don't know what the college kids are doing these days, but I know it's bad out there. Let's hit the next one. So, we're gonna get into the 5 decisions that you can make right now to make your professional life better, to make your personal life better, things that you can just change today with just a decision about yourself, or even just firm up for yourself and make these decisions that can help carry you through life. These are decisions that I've personally made. Some of them sound a little bit crazy, but some I'm actively doing right now. So I'm not just talking to you as somebody that doesn't know how to make these decisions. So the first thing you need to get clear on is what you want. And I have 3 steps to this, and that's get very real with yourself. It would be really great to be like, actually, I've done this before. Do you want to hear a personal story? Okay, I'll tell you. I was bound and determined that I was going to make writing my career when I went to college. I had no idea that writing was a real career. It was fantastic. I found out that at UNT they had a wonderful accredited journalism program. I go, I get the degree. I'm working at a wonderful business paper. I work in the high rises in downtown Fort Worth. I'm broke. And I realize I don't actually want to be poor to keep doing what I love every day. It's not on the agenda for me. So what I decided to do was flip over into marketing with skills that I already had. And as a result, I am no longer poor. But I had to get real with myself because I even fought my high school English teacher. I was like, I'm going to be a writer for the rest of my life, and you can't prove me wrong. And he was like, that sounds great. And then I got published in a newspaper, and I emailed him my first article, and I was like, what was that about not being a writer for the rest of my life? I don't email him anymore because I'm not writing every day. It's okay, he was right. But getting real with yourself can look like a lot of things, but especially now in college, it can be getting very real about like what you want to do with your degree, where you want to keep going with your classes, the people you want to be associating with, the kind of time that you want to be spending on free time, your education, at your work, and then journal these things. And I mean actually write them down with a piece of paper. Y'all don't really do that anymore, right? Y'all all use like computers for school. Yeah, they used to make me handwrite everything. Congratulations to you all. My hand hurts so bad. And then be really specific about these things. You want money? How much money do you want? Do you want to make $75,000 a year? Do you want to make $100,000 a year? Do you want to make $102,000 a year? Oh, she said money, that's a bad word. Money is not a bad word. You're allowed to talk about money and wanting money and having money. And since I'm at a Christian university, I want you all to know that literally God has already made everything available to you in the entire universe, and it's up to you to take action to get those things that you actually want, okay? Let's do the next one. Get real about who you are. You need to decide who you are. And this is checking in with yourself. Who am I? What are the things that I do? What are the values that I hold? All of these things. And you need to ask other people. Now, I said ask other people. You need to ask only other people that you love and respect and look up to. I do not want you to ask your friend that spends every last $20 he has at the Chick-fil-A. Don't ask him. That person, the way they're living, you don't want to be that person. You want to have money in your bank account. You want to have good people around you. Don't ask that person. Ask people that you want to be like, people that you respect, people that you love unconditionally. Don't ask temporary people. Don't ask people that you don't want to live like. Don't ask people that you don't want to have the jobs they have. Ask other people that you're actually looking up to. And the third thing is to think positively about this. Let's say you write down 10 things about who you are. Throw away any of them that are negative or that you don't want or that you decide you don't want to be anymore. Let's say you have 10 things from another person that you wrote down. You don't like 2 of them. Throw them away. Get rid of them. They don't matter. Let's say that the top 3 people you look up to in the world, they have qualities that aren't on your list. Add them. And that's how easy a decision is. After you've written all these things down, that's who you decided that you are, and you can actively start being that person as soon as you decide that. Next one, DJ. The third thing you're going to do is decide to take action. This means whatever decision that you have chosen to go with, whatever person that you decided that you are, and the things that you actually want, you are going to just take wild action. Every day that I leave my house, there's a sign on my door and I touch it. And it says, everything I want is already available to me, and I take action to get it. Every single day before I leave, I touch that on my door. Hit it, leave. Today, leaving to see all of you guys, touched it. Hit it, left the door. I think about it every single day. And then you're going to visualize this for yourself. How am I going to take action? For me, one of the first things I did, I put that sign on my door. That's the first action I took in moving forward. I just put it on my door. I decided I'm going to look at that every day. I'm going to look at how I want to feel every day. I'm going to look at who I want to be every day. That's what I did. And then you're going to do. You're going to actually decide and actively choose to take action. If today, actually, I just told one of your faculty members that I won't make all of you change your major or do anything crazy. But if today you're like, hey, I'm not doing the thing that I actually want to do, you need to go book an appointment with your advisor. You need to go make the actual correct action that you want to make. If you've decided that you're doing exactly what you love to do and you want to double down on that, you need to go follow people that you admire in the same field as you. Talk to more people learning the things that you're learning. Talk to people learning other things aside from what you're learning, and actually start making time and doing that. Does anyone use their calendar anymore? Yeah? Like our real calendar? Okay. I just want you guys to know that I decided that every day by 10:30 p.m. I want to like plug my phone in because I've been doom scrolling on TikTok like nobody's business, okay? I know that's like a problem for a lot of people. But one of the actions I took is every day on my Apple Watch and on my phone, I get a notification at 10:30 that says, put your phone and your watch on the charger in the bathroom. I just put that on my calendar. And that way, if I don't do it, I have to think about the fact that I didn't do it, and I told myself to do it. And also, I'm just reminded that that's something I decided to do, and I'm going to get it done. You can put anything on your calendar, just by the way. That was kind of an epiphany to me. Might not be for some of you guys. But you can literally pencil in, like, I want to eat lunch every day at 1, and just put it in your calendar. And then that's your me time. I put in my calendar that I want to doom scroll for 1 hour every day from 9:30 to 10:30. So what do? I get to doom scroll. I set that time out for myself. So these are just little things that you can do and start taking action to decide how you want to be. Next one, DJ. Okay, this one is huge. At the conference that we were talking about, where me and John met each other, I had to mention some of my like biggest business fails because somebody asked me. One of them was like losing $5,000, which I mean, big deal. And the other one was that I was terribly inconsistent and missed a follow-up to go meet with somebody who I really admired in Dallas. I would have driven to Dallas for them. I hate Dallas. I don't want to be there. Driving there gives me mild anxiety. But I completely missed the opportunity altogether because I wasn't consistent, I wasn't doing the follow-up. And this is where habits come into place. If you build a habit for yourself every single day, you want to know what I'm doing right now? Have any of you ever heard of 75 hard? I'm doing it. I am on day 22 right now. And I'm not doing it for fitness reasons. It's a mental toughness program. But the idea was that I really wanted to commit to something full time, and I had been thinking about doing it for 3 years. And I was like, you know what I tell people to do is actually take action. So 22 days ago, I was like, I'm going to start doing it right now. I had no idea where I was starting or what I was doing, so I just started with what I have. You have to work out 2 times a day for 45 minutes a day. I just started like YouTubing. Oh, that made me sound old. I started searching up on YouTube 45-minute exercises, and I would just do whatever it said that said no equipment. I would just do that 2 times a day. One has to be outside. I have my laptop. I like set my MacBook on the grass, and I'm like doing HIIT workouts. I was like, I'm so good at this. I wasn't. The first time I did yoga, I cried. Just yesterday, I got a new yoga trick down, though, so 22 days in, it's going well. But there are a lot of different ways to build habits. Using your calendar is one of those ways. There are great habit tracker apps just in the App Store. Look them up. All of these things. And then also set achievable goals. I know I said that I just dove into 75 hard. That's crazy, right? But if your goal is that you want to start walking every day and you've walked 1 mile in the collective past year, maybe don't say that you're going to walk a mile every day. You're going to be a little bit discouraged the first time, for sure. And you're not going to want to keep doing it. So maybe just say you're going to walk for 5-10 minutes every day. Just make all these little goals you set for yourself and habits you set for yourself achievable a little bit at a time. And then when you're good at it, do a mile a day later. It's not rocket science. It's just scaling yourself up. Let's do the next one. Okay, the next one is super important to me. This is something I say at every single lecture I ever give. Something I remind my students of all the time. And that is decide to have gratitude. This is the easiest one. This one is so easy. You can literally look at any person in your life and think of something they have taught you, something they have poured into you, any of these things. Do y'all want another personal story? Okay, so somebody said not really, and I heard you, and your mom knows about that. So when I was in college, and I was like all of you, I was a philosophy minor because I felt that as if I was worldly and I learned all these things and concepts that maybe one day I would be good at stuff or something. That's not what my parents hoped that I was spending money on, but it is what I was spending their money on. So I went to a philosophy class, and the first thing I learned was a philosophical theory. It's Portuguese. It's called conscientização, and I got that tattooed on my body because I was 18 and I had a little bit of money. not what my parents wished I was doing at the time. But the theory is that every single person that you meet ever in your entire life has something to teach you. And that can be anything. It can be that they're teaching you the way that you don't want to be sometimes, right? But it can be anything that they're teaching you. Really just random people in my life. One day, when I was at a coffee shop, I was like, I don't like coffee. And my friend was like, not my friend, she's my friend now, this stranger who was a barista, who I made my friend, because I do that to a lot of people, was like, well, what kind of coffee have you tried? And I was like, I don't know. She taught me about every kind of coffee that exists known to man. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't actually know anything about coffee. And then next week, after she had convinced me that I loved French vanilla cappuccinos, and I had spent approximately $200 on that, you're not gonna learn money management from me, okay? I wrote her a thank you note, and I brought it up there, and I was like, thank you so much. Now I have a place that I can study and enjoy spending my time in college. I had no idea that I like coffee, and you taught me that. But the thing about having gratitude is that you can't just feel it in here. It's something you gotta share out there. You gotta vocalize this. You have to write thank you notes. Handwritten thank you notes are the most underrated thing of all time. And every time I give this lecture, somebody's always like, how about a thank you text? How about a thank you email? And I'm not saying that those aren't good things, because they really are good things. Letting someone know you appreciate them in any capacity is always a fantastic thing to do. But to take the time to actually handwrite a thank you note, hand it to them, mail it to them. Y'all are young people. I'm sure you don't know half your friends' addresses. I completely understand that. But, taking the time to find, look up where they work, mail it where they work. Those addresses are usually public. And actually sending a thank you note, it can be simple. One time I mailed my mom a thank you note, and it just said, hey, Mom, thanks for always answering my phone calls. And I just sent it because I had committed to writing 100 thank you notes in a year, which seems like a lot of thank you notes. But actually, I had sent way over 100 thank you notes in a year. Let's hit the next one. So, the 5 decisions that you can make right now to be better at business, to be better personally, to be better professionally, all of these things are you're going to decide what you actually want. I want to make $100,000 and take 2 beach vacations with my family every single year. Decide who you are. I'm a person that's consistent, and I show up for all my friends, and I never miss a single movie premiere at the Cinemark. That's fine. You can put that on your list. You're going to decide to take action. I'm going to decide that I'm going to put these things in my calendar. I'm going to decide that I don't spend my entire day on TikTok. And then you're going to decide to build habits, and these can be any kind of habits. These can be really, really small ones, or they can be really crazy. You can be like, I run a 10K every week. Good for you. Not me. And then you're going to decide to have gratitude, and that's for all the people around you. I'll tell you what, this faculty is so great. They care about you so much. I got wonderful emails about what to talk about with you all today. They're like, we just want them to be confident and successful and feel good about their education and feel good about what they're doing. That's what they said about you guys. And they're like, our students are so great. We want them to have confidence. All the people here that are your faculty and your staff care about you so much and care about your education. That's true for me personally as a professor as well. It actually makes us feel so good to see you succeeding and see you get more confident as you go on. Let's hit the next one. Okay, this is just a little slide where we can connect via QR code. Yes, this is kind of a ploy that I run to get my LinkedIn following up. I'm just kidding. But it does work. I also have a website on there that includes all the things that I do, which is 1,000,005 different things. I am a professional cosplayer, a freelance makeup artist, a marketing professional, a business owner, a professor. Oh, gosh. I have a small bookshop. I've owned a vintage store. I've done 1,000,005 different things because I just decided to do them, and most of them are listed on my website. And then the other QR code is a little exit survey type thing that you can take for me. And it also gives the option to sign up for my email list in case you want just like other kinds of encouragements and other kind of professional tips. But I want to turn it over for a couple questions. I know I just said a lot of things, and probably a lot of things that y'all are like, that's a lot of pressure to put on me at this point in my life to decide to do all those things. But I'm here to clear up any of that in case you're nervous. Does anyone have any questions? It can also be related to my terrible spending habits in college if you want. I'm happy to tell mistakes. What if I pick on some of you mercilessly to ask a question? This is what I do to my students in class. I'm a joy to have in class. Right here. What's your question? You have no questions at all? You're a liar. that's so nice. He's being nice, and I called him a liar. You're not a liar. That was very nice. Oh, in preparation for who's going to the career fair? Hands. I'm going to the career fair. I put it on my calendar. That's not very many of you. Hands, I have a really good job right now. Hands, I have a really good job right now? Okay, a lot more of you should have raised your hands for the career fair based on the number of hands I just saw for I have a really good job. Okay, so for those of you going to the career fair, things that I would get ready. Hands, I have a resume. Hands, I have a really good resume. Some of your hands went down. We got to work on that. The first thing I would do for the career fair coming up is I would get your resume in order. And that means you know that it looks good. Did you hear what I said? It means you know that it looks good and you did not put your hand down or go like this. If your resume looks like this, you're not ready to go to the career fair next week. Part of that, if you decided that you want to look more professional or be more professional when you show up to things like this, I would say that I'm putting the success closet on my calendar, right? Having free access to professional clothes is insane. But also if you're a person that's I don't want anyone to see me go to the success closet, first of all, shame is not a worthwhile emotion at all. Shame's just not a worthwhile emotion. I'm going to say that. Disappointment is, nervousness is, all those things. Shame, not worthwhile. You know what I mean? Show up anyway, or go to the Goodwill. Goodwill has wonderful professional clothes all the time. Half my clothes are from Goodwill. I'm sure something I'm wearing is, actually these shoes and this shirt are both from Goodwill. Period. That's a thrifty queen back there. I saw her. What about you right here? You've been paying such good attention the whole time. Do you have any questions?
I'd like to hear about your terrible spending habits in college.
Oh, no. Honestly, I don't think I've quite gotten over them. I also teach an advertising class at UNT, and every week we have a What Did Professor Sanchez Spend corner, where I tell them what I was influenced to buy via my very targeted ads. Last week, that water bottle was on the list. Also, I saw one of my students had a strawberry backpack, so I bought a strawberry bag. It's like that in Mean Girls when it's I saw Regina George had camo pants and flip-flops, so I got camo pants and flip-flops. But it was a strawberry bag. I spent money all the wrong ways in college. I'll tell you what, every time I had $100, I was oh, this is exactly how rich people feel. And then I would fill up my gas tank and be this is not how rich people feel at all. But once I finally got I'll come to you in just a second. Once I finally got a handle on, you don't have to have every shiny, fun, cool thing that you see in the world, probably because your house will also get out of hand, I got way better at spending my money. My husband was you're a maximalist, and what is it called? What's the opposite of a maximalist? A minimalist? Yes, see, I don't even care what that word is called. He was a minimalist when I met him. He had 4 plates, 4 bowls, and 1 set of bed linens. And then I just train wrecked into his life with 6 different bedspreads and 5 different sets of dishes I had gathered over college. And he was we have to do something about this. So yeah, by that I mean I did have 5 different dish sets in college. Why? I don't know. I keep spending money I keep getting tattoos, It's a ride we're on. What about right here?
I have 2 questions, if you don't mind. So first off, would you want to get back to writing? Because I know you said before, you stopped writing. Second, can you explain the meaning behind your tattoos, if you don't mind?
Oh my gosh, of course I will. Is that allowed? We're at a Christian university. Can I talk about my tattoos here? Okay, thanks. That made me feel better. Okay, wait, say the first part again. I've had 3 strokes, so I get confused. Okay, that's a great question. So the fun thing is that I get to write all the time now, and I'm not poor. You can write anything you want ever in the whole entire world. It's crazy. I wrote this whole presentation for you guys today. I write a blog. I have my own publication, Texas Dog Magazine, so I write for my own magazine. I write social media content. I write blog posts and all kinds of things for several different small clients I have in marketing. So I get to write all the time with money. So that is the best part. And then I don't think you can like really see any of my tattoos, but this little tattoo right here, it's a blackberry. I've been asked if it's a pineapple, a grenade, or grapes so far. It's starting to hurt my feelings. But my husband and I have matching ones, so when we hold hands, they line up together. So we can never get divorced. That's how you really trap them. And then actually, I have my little muñeca right here, my little traditional Mexican doll. She is new. And my grandma used to bring me one every year from Tijuana because we're from Mexico. My last name's Sanchez. You knew I was from Mexico, right? Yeah, okay. And then I think that most of my other ones are just because they're pretty, if we're being on, like this is just a flower. It's just pretty. That's all. I decided I wanted to be a tattooed person, and I keep showing up to the tattoo shop as a result of that. Okay, I think that is actually perfect time, right at our time that we were trying to hit. With that, thank you so much for letting me be here and talk to you all today. I know as a college student, I'd always get so nervous going to an assembly, like, what is that person going to say to me? And is it going to be the most boring thing I've ever heard? But I hope that all of you heard something that you needed to hear today or wanted to hear today, or maybe if you've heard it 5 times, you just heard it a little bit differently. And I appreciate all of you so much. I'm going to hand it back over.
All right. Thank you. Yes. 1, 2. All right. Yes. Can you hear me? Good. All right. How many thank Neely for her talk today? Yes. Give it up. Thank you, Neely. Always with that trademark upbeat style. I love that. So thank you for that. But yeah, hopefully, as she said, you got something positive out of today, something that you needed to hear. Don't underestimate the power of thankfulness. Gratefulness. Don't underestimate the power of networking. These are all things that are really, really going to help you throughout your life, right? Not just in the short term, but long term. And so, again, I want to emphasize we have the career fair coming up. As she also mentioned, ideally, yes, you want your resume taken care of. You want to practice your interview skills. And I happen to be the guy to help you with that. I would say at this point, it's kind of getting into the late hours for this. But still, I'm willing to work with you. So if you need assistance with your resume, definitely please come and see me. Again, we're over at Hagen Hall in case you're not aware. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and close with a word of prayer. Thank you all for being here. And so we'll see you around campus. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you again, Lord, for bringing us here together. May we be able to put the things that we learned today in practice. May we make wise decisions, Lord, with which we can glorify you. And may we take action in order to accomplish those things that we've set our minds to, Lord. Help us and guide us as we make our way out of here. And we ask everything in Jesus' name. Amen. All righty. Thank you all. I'll see you around.